I'm not a big calorie counter, so the fact that nuts are a high calorie snack doesn't faze me. I eat nuts every day. I love them. In fact, the thing that curtails my nut consumption is the noxious fumes I emit when I have too many, not the calorie count. But I know for many people, the calorie count is what keeps nuts off their menu. And the price. Aish, they really are expensive. What if I told you they're actually not that high in calories? Seriously, they got the calorie count wrong. Join us for this episode of Better Body Chemistry TV as we do a little calorie maths on a packet of cashew nuts. Better Body Chemistry TV is brought to you by Dr. Sandy, the scientist turned gremlin buster, helping you battle sugar gremlins, heffalumps, and other health horribles through better body chemistry. Remember, small things can make a big difference to your health. Now, calorie labels are based on calculations, not actual measurements. If you realize what a palaver it is to actually measure the calorie count of a food, you quickly realize why, for most foods, it's calculated. The calculation is based on Atwater factors, which really just means the amount of protein, fat, and carbohydrates is measured. It's then assumed that a fixed percentage of these macronutrients will be digested. In the case of nuts, it is assumed that 78% of the protein, 90% of the fat, and 97% of the carbs will be digested. The rest will be pooped out. But are nuts all that digestible? This is what a team of researchers based at Beltsville Human Nutrition Research Center in Maryland set out to discover. They enlisted the help of 18 plucky, healthy volunteers and fed them cashew nuts. Plucky, these guys had to collect all their poop and urine every day for 7 days on 2 separate occasions. The first occasion served as the baseline. During this time, no cashew nuts were consumed. The second occasion corresponded with cashew snacking. The size of the cashew nut snack was 42 grams per day. This is a generous handful, 21 grams of which was consumed at breakfast and 21 grams at dinner. Everything else was kept pretty much the same, with all the meals and snacks being provided by the research center. Minor adjustments were made to ensure the total calorie count was the same on both occasions. The team calculated what went in terms of the fat, nitrogen, energy, and ash content. Then they calculated what came out, both ends. They used this information to determine just how much of the cashew nut snack was assimilated for each subject. Here are the results. There were differences between individuals. So some people were good cashew nut digesters and some not so much. But no one digested the nuts as well as predicted. The red line shows what was expected based on those Atwater factors. In reality, the number of calories was on average 16% lower. Yay! Cashew nuts aren't so fattening. But it's a nut thing, not a cashew phenomenon. The same thing happens when you eat other nuts. In the case of pistachios, the difference is quite small, only 5%. But in walnuts and almonds, the difference is in the order of 20 to 25%. You see, the calories are stuck inside. As plants, nut cells have a robust cell wall, and popping this open is a little challenging for us as humans. It does happen, but the contents of every nut cell is not released. Many whole nut cells make it out of the gut, still intact. The more processed the nut is, the more likely it is that that cell wall will break somewhere along the digestive tract, allowing the contents to be digested. Roasting nuts increases the brittleness of the nut, making chomping on the nut a little more effective. This means smaller particles are created, and a smaller particle is easier to digest. Grinding up the nuts to make a nut butter will also result in smaller particles and increased nutrient digestibility. So, when all is said and done, it's probably time to rethink nut snacks. Nuts are not as calorie dense as we've been led to believe. They're pretty satiating and they're full of nutrients. Some of their claims to fame: they're high in magnesium, vitamin E, and fiber. All of these are nutrients we're often not getting enough of. So don't be afraid to include nuts in your diet. They can help create better body chemistry and better health. Interested in discovering more ways to create better body chemistry or need a little help getting your body chemistry on track? Visit our website at www.betterbodychemistry.com. Browse our library or enroll in one of our courses or programs. The advice is simple to follow and based on real science, not hype. Know someone who skips nuts because they view them as fattening. Share this video with them. Everyone should know nuts are okay. And if this is your first time here, be sure to subscribe to our channel so you catch future episodes of Better Body Chemistry TV. Thank you so much for watching, and I'll see you next time. Remember, small things can make a big difference to your health.